Hello, Tashitale. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Dharma sharing on this very special occasions of Sagadawa. And today, this will be our last session for this Sagadawa. And I would like to thank you all for participating, sparing your time for Dharma, listening to the teachings of Gampopa. And I'm definitely sure that this will bring a lots of accumulations of good merits, as well as this will remind us the importance of Buddha's teaching in this today's world, where there are lots of difficulties emotionally and externally, lots of unstable and disharmonies are taking place. So, in order to tackle with this kind of situation, it is always very beneficial when you have some kind of insight of Buddha's teaching. And just starting by listening the teachings and then slowly comprehending and concentrating on those teachings, and thereby one is able to actually put them into practice. So these are wonderful instructions, and this is always useful in our day-to-day life. So I believe that this has given you some kind of auspicious connection with relationship to the wonderful awakening information, Dharma teachings by Gampopa, and especially this very important chapter, the wisdom awareness, which again I would like to remind you all that is the most important teaching in order to dispel our ignorance, which is the root cause of our suffering. So we unfortunately are suffering because of not knowing this truth, ultimate truth. And how to realize the ultimate truth has been described in this chapter, the chapter Wisdom Awareness. And when you have this information, at least information, then one can be actually to do some investigations. One can concentrate these teachings, whether this makes sense to us or not, whether the logics that were given in these instructions are relevant or not. And then one can really make truly examinations of these instructions, these wonderful teachings. And then when you are convinced, one can apply them into our day-to-day life, especially tackling with our imbalanced different types of emotions because of different circumstances. So therefore, it is very important. So we'll continue this special chapter. We're almost at the end of this chapter. So before we do so, we shall do the refuge prayers and followed by the generations of bodhicitta. Sangye che dan soge cho nam la jangjo bardo dane gyab son che dage jen soge ve son nam ge dola benje sangye do bare sho sangye che dan soge cho nam la jangjo bardo dane gyab son che dage jen soge ve son nam ge dola benje sangye do bare sho sangye che dan soge cho nam la jangjo bardo dane gyab son che dage jen soge ve son nam ge Dola benje sangye do bare sho sangye che dan sangye jo nam la jang jo ba do da ne gyab son je da ye je sangye be so nam ge dola benje sangye do bare sho sem je dam je de wa dang de we gyo dan den bare gyo je dong an dang dong an ge gyo dan da wa gyo je dong an me be de wa dang ba da men da wa gyo je nge re ja da ni dan da re da nyum che bo la ne bare gyo ro je sem je dam je de wa dang de we gyo dan den bare gyo je dong an dang dong an ge gyo dan da wa gyo je dong an me be de wa dang ba da men da wa gyo je nge re ja da ni dan da re da nyum che bo la ne bare gyo ro je sem je dam je de wa dang de we gyo dan den bare gyo je Dunga dan dunga ye yo dan da wa yo je dunga me ben da wa dan ba dan me da wa yo je ngi ren ja da ye dan da we dan yom je mo la ne ba yo je bal den za we la ma rin bo je da yin ju lo be men de sho la ka din chen be go ne je son de gu son to ye ngo do za do su. So with this refuge prayers and generations of bodhicitta, will continue. And as we should always remember, it is always very important, advisable, and beneficial to investigate your motivations each time before you're engaging with any kind of activities. You should remind yourself that what is the purpose of this activity, especially with relationship to the listening of the teachings. We should really examine our motivations. We should generate bodhicitta. We should remind ourselves that we are doing this so to benefit sentient beings and to free from the suffering of samsara. So again, in order to benefit more sentient beings in more advanced level, oneself need to be free from negative afflictions and emotions. So therefore, our two objectives: one is to free ourselves from the suffering of samsara, especially the cause of suffering of samsara. That is to free ourselves from the negative afflictions and emotions, and especially, which is the root cause, the ignorant. We need to free ourselves from this ignorant. We need to be awakened. We need to be enlightened from this. We need to free from this ignorant. We need to awaken ourselves from this sleeping mood of confusion state of mind. We need to awake from this state of mind. Then only we'll be able to benefit sentient beings. So that is important. And if you find there's some shortcomings in your motivation, then we always can regenerate good motivations. And then when you start any kind of tasks you do with relationship to the accumulations of merit and wisdom, it will work very well, and you will be joyful. You will be joyful in every act of accumulations of merits and wisdom. Okay, so that's important. So this special chapter, wisdom awareness, this is very important. And when you realize this, when you really actually realize this, through your own experiences, then there's the possibility of liberating yourself from the negative afflictions and emotions. Not just only theoretically understanding of this wisdom awareness is enough. We should go further more than that. We should really utilize the path that is known as path of direct perception. We can really experience this wisdom awareness through our meditation practice, not just understanding, but through our day-to-day meditation practice. Then one can liberate, from the suffering of samsara. One can then lots of good qualities like compassion, loving kindness, all this will manifest based on the direct experience through meditation practice. Otherwise, theoretically having lots of knowledge about wisdom awareness and not actualizing them through your experiences, then that's just empty words, empty understanding. That will not lead us to the perfect and complete enlightenment, and that will be not beneficial for sentient beings either. You may be well known in wisdom awareness. You may be holding a PhD on wisdom awareness, but if you do not have direct experience through meditation step, through meditation process, then you cannot minimize, you cannot subside, or you cannot dispel your anger, jealousy, attachment, and so forth. So we sometimes can see different people, especially different instructors, who are very good, who are well known, who are very knowledgeable in wisdom awareness, then suddenly, time to time, they are more jealous, they are more angry, they are more disappointed. This all happened because one thing is lacking, and that is a direct experience, not having the direct experience of wisdom awareness through meditation process. So therefore, in order to actualize and realize this wisdom awareness, one must and should based on samadhi or concentration, meditation concentration, and that's very important. That is why we have also talked about the meditation concentration on earlier chapter, the fifth paramita. And based on that very strong meditative concentration, one can able to realize, actualize, and experience this wisdom awareness. And once you experience this wisdom awareness, with your own experiences, then everything is possible. Then you can liberate yourself from the cause of suffering. Then many different types of beneficial effects can manifest. And that's a wonderful thing to do. Okay. So having said that, we'll continue wisdom chapter. And in order to understand, especially Gampopa said, we just understanding wisdom awareness is not enough. One need to practice. What is to be practiced. He has especially mentioned here with the topic that is labeled as what is to be practiced. Not only what it is to be known is enough. Then followed by that, what it is to be practiced. So we really need to practice wisdom awareness through our own experience with meditation process. And in order to experience wisdom awareness through our meditation process, there are different ways one can meditate upon. There's these two, generally speaking, there are these two paths. One path is path that is investigation path or analytical meditation. That is how it is translated. So that's there. That's more like sutra way of understanding wisdom awareness. But here, since we are talking about Mahamudra practice, and especially Gampopa is the Mahamudra practitioner, he has given us the choice of second process, that is the path of direct experience. How one can direct experience wisdom awareness, not through any kind of, not referring to any kind of logic, any kind of analytical meditation, but directly experiencing your own mind, the nature of your own mind, directly experiencing the nature of phenomena, not referring through logic, not referring through different types of what you call the words of shlokas or the quotes, but really trying to actualize it with our own experience. Therefore, this Mahamudra way of meditation is known as, instead of inferring the emptiness of external phenomena through reasoning, Mahamudra traditional gives us or shows us the path how to directly experience emptiness with our own experience, or how to directly experience emptiness actuality, to make this understanding into actuality experience, actual experiences. So therefore, this Mahamudra way of realizing wisdom awareness is known as the direct path of direct experience or path of direct perception. So this is what has been taught here by Gampopa. So to recall the actual meditation path here, Gampopa did mention that we did not need to infer any kind of logic. We just need to see the true nature of our own mind. We do not need to make this happen. We just need to see it. We do not need to add anything to make it beautiful. It is always and already beautiful. It did not have any kind of stains or dirts and whatsoever. It was clean, pure from the beginningless time. But we have not actualized this. We have not seen this reality. So there's nothing that need to be added, that need to make it beautiful. And at the same time, we do not need to kind of disregard anything. We do not need to subtract anything. We do not need to dispel any kind of negative afflictions and emotions. In actuality, the essence of negative afflictions and emotions are already pure. That is why in the Mahamudra lineage prayers, it says the essence of your thought is Dhammakaya. So therefore, in this tradition, we just need to see the true nature of any thoughts. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, does not matter. We do not need to make things good. We do not need to subtract bad things or eliminate bad things. We do not need to accumulate good things, and we do not need to eliminate bad things. There's no good and bad kind of perception here. We should be free from these perceptions of good and bad. We should be free from these extremes. We should just need to look at the nature of it as it is. That is the direct perception, part of direct perception or meditation state of Mahamudra way. So this is very important to remember. Having said that, Gampopa again reminds us, when you actualize, everything is without kind of self-existent. Everything is without kind of solid identity. Everything is without kind of permanent entity. When you see everything is emptiness by nature, then you should not discontinue accumulation merits benefiting sentient beings, because this must go together. Why? Because realizing the true nature of phenomena, the emptiness nature of phenomena, does not mean that everything will disappear, everything will go blank. It's not that at all. Rather, it is more like when you realize emptiness nature of phenomena, when you really realize this wisdom awareness, you will develop more compassion, more loving kindness and compassion towards sentient beings who are lacking this truth, who are still acting in samsara with negative afflictions and emotions, who are still overpowered by negative afflictions and emotions, who are still under control of this confused state of mind. For those, you will again generate more compassion than ever for those. So you really want to see them. You really want to see those individuals who are still confused, who still did not realize this actual reality of wisdom awareness. You really want to help them to see this the reality. You really want to see them that they do not need to suffer. They can be free from these sufferings if they are free from this ignorance. People do suffer in samsara because of not knowing the true nature of emptiness, nature of phenomena. They think whatever appears in front of them are truth, they are real, so they grasp it. They attach to this beautiful form, sound, smell, taste, and texture, as I mentioned earlier. And because of that, when they do not see the emptiness nature of phenomena, all those appearances, they take them as real, and they put a lot of effort, money, effort, time, to really, to fulfill their wishes, to really have them with them, or to really want to stay with them, these different types of appearances, to be close with them. And once, since their nature is of impermanent suffering and emptiness, so they do not stay permanently. Obviously, they will depart, they will fade, they will change. So when these things happens, change, fade, departing, then people are disappointed. Then they could not control. Then they are shocked. They are stayed in the shocks. So this all happened because they did not know the actual truth of these different appearances. So therefore, the sooner you know the reality, ultimate reality of the phenomena, the better it is for your balancing of your internal emotions. Okay, so those realized masters in the past, they are okay when they encounter any changes in their life. They are not overwhelmed by the external circumstances because they knew that this will happen. Sooner or later, people will die. Sooner or later, there will be departures. Sooner or later, there will be things will get fade, things will get broken, things will be stolen. So when this really happens in front of them, they really can adjust this. So they are not overwhelmed. So their emotions are balanced. There's less suffering for them. And slowly, when they advance this kind of understanding, especially the Pasna Paramita, knowing the true nature of phenomena as emptiness nature, then there's no attachment at all. Attachment will disappear. And then when you do not have any attachment towards any phenomena, then there's no way you get jealous, or there's no way you need to be competitive with others. There's no way to have envy for others. So, see, you're now slowly, when you have this wisdom awareness, you can free from all these negative efficiency emotions. And when you're free from this anger, attachment, disappointment, envy, jealousy, pride, that's it. Freedom, liberation is there, just there. You do not need to go somewhere else to find your liberation. You do not need to go some kind of pure realms. You can remain in this samsara and enjoy the happiness. Enjoy the balanced emotion, by being free from all the negative afflictions and emotions. And that is your own pure realm when you're able to free yourself from the negative afflictions and emotions. And you can be free from negative afflictions and emotions only by knowing the truth of phenomena. There's no option B. There's no antibiotics to free yourself from negative afflictions and emotions. So only this wisdom awareness is the antidote here. So that's why it's very important. Okay. So then Gampopa did also mentions about the importance of taking this experience into your post-meditation state. You have to be one. You should not be two different types of people. You are very good, happy, without disturbed, peaceful state in meditation state. Then when you go into post-meditation state, then if you are disturbed by different appearances, different sound, if you are distracted, and then you become the old individual, same old individual, then that's not so useful of the meditation, right? So we should try to bring that meditative state experience into our post-meditation states. And how one can do? According to Gampopa, he said, look every phenomenon. So when you are out of meditation, so you need to engage in daily activities, you need to see people, you need to do your business, all this eating and going taking shower or having a cup of tea with people, your friends, colleagues, business meetings, and so on. At all this level, at all this time, you need to remind yourself, be mindful of the situation, that seeing these things are just like an illusion, just like a object appearing in your dreams. So when you have this kind of mindfulness, trying to be able to see things as illusions, or things as the object of magician, then you will be safe, according to Gampopa. And that's true also. Then when you are able to see things as illusion, things as the object in dreams, then when you interact with people, associate with people, if someone yells at you, you're okay. You take this yelling, this very strong yelling sound as an empty sound, not having true existence. Obviously, it kind of makes, it kind of sounds quite crazy, but if you're able to do this, then you're not disturbed. you're emotionally balanced, you know. Or if someone shows different unpleasant appearances, you're still okay, you're still fine. If someone yells at you, you're fine, because your meditation state is strong. Therefore you can take that meditation state, experience of that meditation state into post meditation states. That's what we should be doing. If you are able to do this, you are free. There's no risks. You are free, and you will not generate negative affections and emotions. You know, your reaction towards those different appearances will be very neutral. So that is why we always pray that may I, be able to remain my emotional into neutral state. You know, not overwhelming, not distracted or disturbed or interrupted our inner peace, stability of our inner peace by external forces, by external situations and circumstances. You're able to remain in this neutral, very peaceful state of mind forever. That is what we should be doing. So during the post meditation state, we should have awareness of seeing different appearances as illusions. And if you are able to do this, then you'll be able to remain in undistracted, uninterrupted, undisturbed internal balance, emotion state of your emotion will be undistracted, uninterrupted, and disturbed. You'll be able to remain in that very peaceful state of mind that you have experienced in your meditation state. So Gampopa also did mention that at the same time, we should not stop accumulating merits. And during our post-meditation states, we can recite mantras, we can benefit sentient beings, we can practice your generosity, you can practice your vinaya, you can practice your patience, and all these things can still take place even though you know these things do not really exist as they appear to be. But at the same time, without any having kind of any attachment and anger, you can still practice. You can still practice generosity and so forth. You know, before having the, before we have before having these wisdom awareness experiences, we do practice generosity. But that at that time we have some kind of hope. We have some kind of attachment while you practice generosity. For example, oh, I am the one who is giving these things. Or you may also think that, oh, I accumulated good merit today. So they see there's this I kind of attachment towards that I, cherishing to that I. And generally speaking, to have cherished to that I is okay. It's kind of rejoicing yourself on your good deeds. But then what happens is you will still stuck. You'll still be bounded. You're still caught in one kind of chain there that need to be liberated. You know, that attachment towards that I should be liberated. So therefore, this realizing wisdom awareness will free ourselves, free us from this kind of having this kind of three spheres. Like for example, I am the donor, I am the giver, and that is the one who has been benefited, the other object, the receiver, and the act. What act you have done, what kind of things you have given to that individual. So you have this attachment towards these three spheres. So by realizing wisdom awareness, you can be free from these three spheres. So which is very good. Then you will be not kind of stick there, or you will be not attached there. This kind of three spheres. So as for now, without having this what you call wisdom awareness, we have this kind of attachment towards this I. So we need to bring that awareness, that realizations of wisdom awareness into our post-meditative states, post-meditative states. So in your post-meditations, you can still enjoy, benefiting sentient beings. You can still enjoy accumulations of good merits. As Gampopa said, you should not forget this. You should still practice accumulations of merits in post-meditation states, even though things do not really exist as they appear, even though things are emptiness by nature. But at the same time, these benefiting sentient beings should go together, because realizing emptiness nature of phenomena does not mean everything disappear. As I mentioned earlier, everything will become blind or something. Everything will you will become mm, kind of dull or kind of frozen. It's not that at all. Everything still manifests. So realizing wisdom awareness is realizing the unity of wisdom, awareness, and compassion. Realizing emptiness nature of phenomena means that it's realizing of unity of awareness and emptiness. It's the unity of uh, luminosity and wisdom. It's the unity of compassion and wisdom. So therefore, you should not, get concept of wisdom awareness. So when we are able to maintain this stability of our mind, when we are able to bring that meditative state into our post-meditation state, then our practice will become one. So there's no differentiation between the meditative state and post-meditative states, because we are able to see all the phenomena as emptiness nature, as magical illusions. So we should always remind ourselves that not only in meditative state of mind, we should be peaceful and we should be aware of things as emptiness, but you should bring that kind of same awareness into our uh, post meditation step as well. So because of that awareness, you can make this meditation, uh, both post meditations and meditation state as one, as a unity. So therefore this will then become one practice. So there's no differentiations of meditation state and post meditation states. So you will become more awareness of your own act, your act of body, speech, and mind. Will always be protected if you are able to remind yourself and rest into that true experience of wisdom awareness. So that is very important to be able to try to make your meditative state as one, not differentiating. Oh, now I'm meditation state, so things are peaceful. Oh, now I'm distracted because I'm in post meditative states. If that happens, then that's not so useful. So we need to make this two experience as one and bring that experiences along with us in our every activities of our day-to-day life. So this will bring us more kind of stability in our mind. Okay, so that's very important. So then Gampopa also did mention that how important it is to have awareness or realizations of wisdom awareness. Uh, how much merits are there one if one is able to at least remain 1 minute or 1 second in this truthness, in this emptiness, in this wisdom awareness. So whether you want to call this wisdom awareness or ultimate truth or emptiness, is all same. So Gampopa later will talk about how important it is and how much beneficial effects are there just by remaining on that meditative state, emptiness nature, meditative state of actualizing emptiness nature of phenomena just for 1 second is more meaningful and more has more merits than accumulations of other different ways of accumulations merits like generosity and so forth. So therefore, therefore, the merit of abiding for only one moment within the state of ultimate truth or emptiness or the perfections of wisdom awareness, whatever you want to call this, is limitlessly greater than kalpas means eons, kalpas of listening, of reading the Dharma, or practicing the root of virtue, generosity, and so forth. So this shows us how important is this wisdom chapter is, how important it is to practice, it is to realize wisdom awareness, it is to realize ultimate truth. It is to realize how important it is to realize the emptiness nature of phenomena. If you are able to remain in this emptiness nature of phenomena just for 1 second, has greater merits than practicing of reading and listening to the Dharma and generosity practice for eons and eons. So that really is a very powerful message here. Not only that, Gampopa takes the quotes from the teachings of Suchness Sutra. Here says, Buddha told Shariputra, if one meditates on the meditative stabilizations of suchness, that is the emptiness nature of ultimate truth, for even a single finger snap, greater merits develops than for one who listens to the Dharma for 1 kalpa. Likewise, Shariputra, since it is like that, one should earnestly instruct others in the meditative stabilizations of suchness. So therefore, Buddha kindly instructs Shariputra that since it has so much merits, it's so beneficial, that one should not hesitate to share this merit, to share these instructions, share this wisdom awareness, instructions on wisdom awareness to other sentient beings, so that they will also be able to realize this suchness, realize this ultimate truth, realize this emptiness nature of phenomena. Shariputra, even all of those bodhisattvas who have been foretold as becoming Buddhas in the past, they also dealt only within these meditative stabilizations. So, a very powerful quote from Buddha instructing Shariputra, one should, meditate on this suchness, and one should also instruct others to do so, because it is beneficial. It is the root kind of teaching. It is the root antidote towards to dispelling your ignorance, which is the root cause of suffering of samsara. Obviously, we all want to free ourselves from the suffering of samsara, and just by doing small things here and there is not good enough. We really want to hit that real cause, that is the ignorant, and we should really free ourselves from that ignorance. And the only way one can be free from ignorance is through meditative concentrations on the suchness, on the ultimate truth, on the emptiness nature of phenomena. And this is how it is taught here. Likewise, there is another quote from the Increase of Great Realization Sutra, which says, if one enters such a meditative concentrations for 1 moment, it has greater benefit than protecting the lives of the beings in 3 realms. So this is another powerful statement here, which really encourages us to practice wisdom awareness, to understand the true nature of phenomena. Again, there's another quote Gampopa takes here from the Great Construction Sutra says, there is greater merit in meditating upon the meaning of Dharma, that is the meaning of emptiness or meaning of suchness, for a single day than in listening to and reflecting upon the teachings for many kalpas, many other teachings. This is because one is separated from the path of birth and death by this. Because if you are able to practice and actualize this wisdom awareness, one will be free from death and birth and death. So that means, in other words, one will be free from this suffering of samsara. One then should not necessarily come into samsara because of creations of karma. Because if one really actualizes and if one really realizes this wisdom awareness, he or she will be free from coming into samsara by the force of ignorance, because he or she has already liberated, or from this ignorance, from this root cause of suffering of samsara. So therefore, here it says, when you really realize, when you really actualize the emptiness nature of phenomena, you will be free from death and births. That means you not need to come to this samsara because of ignorance. Or You have now a choice whether you want to come to samsara or not. Earlier, we all come into the samsara without our choice, with the great force of our ignorance. Because of ignorance, we create karma, and because of that karma, we, as a consequences, we experience these different realms in suffering of samsara. But when you're free from this ignorance, when you realize this wisdom awareness, then you're free from coming into samsara. Then you do not need to suffer as a result. Another quote from the Fifth Sutra says, meditations on emptiness for a single session by a yogi or yogin has greater merit than gathering the accumulations of merit through necessities. That means by practicing generosity, by giving, by benefiting and others, in our normal way. It has greater merits than giving money to others, giving donation towards others. These are also a means of accumulation merits, right? But then, if you are able to remain in this suchness, if you are able to remain in this suchness for a single session, has a greater merit than benefiting other sentient beings with necessities, giving shelter, food, clothing, money, and so forth. So therefore, this is another important statement here, which indicates us, which also instructs us that we should be focusing on this suchness, this wisdom awareness, because it has a greater value, it has a greater merits, and obviously it is the one which is helping us to free ourselves from the ignorant. If the meaning of emptiness does not dwell within the mind, or if you are not be able to uh, remain uh, in the awareness of emptiness nature phenomena, then we cannot attain liberation by means of other virtues. So this is another uh, important instructions here, which remind us that the wisdom awareness is the only way how one can liberate ourselves from the ignorance or the negative efficiency emotions. So, therefore, Gampopa is quoting all these wonderful instructions from different texts just to encourage us and just to make sure that we understand how important it is to practice, to listen to practice, to really put them into practice this chapter, wisdom awareness, which is the key instruction here. Okay, so there are many different quotes from different sutras by different great masters that how important it is to realize this wisdom awareness. To realizing wisdom awareness means realizing the ultimate nature of phenomena. And what is ultimate nature of phenomena? Emptiness nature. Understood? So emptiness nature of phenomena. Okay. So we'll continue great accumulations of great merits by just remaining in this wisdom awareness. There's greater merit in the meditations for one day than in kalpas of copying, reading, listening, or explaining or reciting the dharmas. When one is endowed with the meaning of emptiness, there's not a single thing which is not included in this part. So, which means that if one is able to remain in the ultimate nature of phenomena, every practice is inclusive here. There's not a single thing which is not included in this part. So this is the only part that is inclusive of all the other parts. Those are supporting. Remember, I told you before we start this chapter that all the other paramitas are meant to actually realize this sixth paramita, the personal paramita or the wisdom awareness. So all those other ways of accumulations of merit are actually to support, to actualize this wisdom awareness. So when you have this practice of wisdom awareness, then every other practice are included in this. So Gampopa also will talk about different types of merits, uh, different ways of accommodations merits are also inclusive in this practice. So he also talks about if you are able to dwell in this ultimate nature, you are able to remain and realize this emptiness nature of phenomenon and able to remain in that stability of mind, then going to refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha are also here. You do not really need to take a kind of refuge, or you do not need to go for refuge. It's also inclusive here. Generally speaking, we go refuge to Buddha, we see the images of Buddha, we do prostrations, we offer water to Buddha's statue or pictures of Thanga, right? But if you really actualize this wisdom awareness, then you do not need to do all these things. These are all inclusive within this, because you already know the message here, what Buddha is trying to tell us, teach us. Then that is, if you are able to remain in that ultimate nature, that is going to refuge to Buddha, that is going to refuge to Dharma, that is going to refuge to Sangha already. It's inclusive here. Likewise, also, Gampopa also to mention here, if you are able to maintain in this emptiness nature, then bodhicitta is also there. Obviously, ultimate bodhicitta is also there. Ultimate bodhicitta is the realizations of ultimate truth, emptiness nature of phenomena. So that is included there. Likewise, idam deity practice is also included there. When you're able to maintain in this stability of the wisdom awareness, then idam practice or idam deity practice also there. Because in our idam deity practice, generation stage and dissolution and generation stage, the essence of these teachings is to actually to realize ourselves, the emptiness nature of phenomena. So if we are able to do that, then idam practice is also inclusive there, because the practice on the idam deities, the key message of the idam practice is not only shamatha but the vipassana, and vipassana is the emptiness, remaining in the emptiness nature of phenomena. So that's inclusive there too. Here it says that there is neither meditation nor meditator. The deity does not exist, and the mantras also have no existence. In the nature free from all elaborations, dwell perfectly all the deities and their mantras. Verujana, Akshubhaya, Amoga Siddhi, Ratnasambhava, Amitabha, Vajrasattva's. So these are also when you really are able to dwell in that kind of ultimate nature, then all the Idam deities, all the five Buddha families are all there, because it is free from all the elaborations. When you are able to dwell in the suchness or the ultimate nature, then you are free from all these different type of conceptual thoughts, and that is what is Idam practice should be. You're free from all the conceptual thoughts and remaining in the natural state of mind. That is the ultimate state of mind. Likewise, Gampopa also to mention here that it is also inclusive of mantras, recitations of mantras. Recitations of mantra, the actual meaning of recitations of mantra is able to remain our what you call true nature. You're able to remain your true nature. So therefore, it is also the inclusive of recitations of mantras. Likewise, we do fire pujas, for example. And this fire puja, the actual message of doing fire puja is to burn your ignorance. You know, and you can only burn your ignorance if you are able to remain in this ultimate nature, remain in and actualize and realize this ultimate nature of phenomena. So if you are able to do so, then that is the inclusive of fire puja as well. As it says here, performing fire offering rituals also included in this.
king of secret nectar tantra says, why is it fire offering ritual? Why is it the fire offering ritual? It is the fire offering ritual because it burns conceptual thoughts and grants ultimate attainment. Burning wood and so forth are not the real fire offering rituals. So here it also means that when you are able to remain in this suchness, remain this ultimate nature, then that is also offering of fire puja. And why is it? It is mentioned here. Just burning wood and just putting offering items into fire is not enough. We need to understand there's a more greater meaning behind that, and that is to cut your conceptual thoughts, burn your conceptual thoughts. And how one can burn our conceptual thoughts is by remaining in this ultimate nature or suchness nature of our mind or phenomena. So that is also inclusive here. Likewise, practicing of six paramitas are also inclusive in this sixth paramita, the wisdom awareness, because when you practice generosity, for example, what is the message of how, or you can say, how one can make our generosity practice a perfect one, perfected generosity, is only through by freeing ourselves from these three spheres, as I mentioned earlier: giver, act, and receiver. So as long as you have these three spheres, attachment or to these three spheres, you're doing good. You're practicing generosity, your accumulation merit, but you're not. You cannot make this perfect one. And in order to make your generosity perfect, you need to have wisdom awareness there. You need to see the emptiness nature of the giver, emptiness nature of the receiver, and emptiness nature of the act. As long as you are not free from these three spheres, your act of generosity cannot be called perfected one. So if you are able to remain in this suchness, and then practice generosity, if you are able to remain in the emptiness nature of phenomena, and then if you give something to someone, there's no attachment, there's no arrogance that, oh, I did something good today. And there's no kind of comparison with others' generosity practice. There's no pride into your act. There's no kind of attachment towards that act. And this is actually perfect generosity practice. Likewise, more giving vows, commitments, practicing morality, all this. If you are free from these spheres, that I am practicing morality, I took sojong vows, I am very wise. Today I did very good thing. Actually, from general point of view, from layman point of view, it's very good to do something good things for others. But if you have this kind of I, attachment to that I, and that concept, then you're still compound, you're still bounded there. So you need to free from this too. So this says here, Brahma, this is Vesti Request Sutra says, not to think is generosity. Not to think meaning not to have three spheres. I have given this to others, and you post into your Facebook, and how much offering you made today, and how much generosity you practice today. So this kind of, you should be free from all these spheres. Not to think is generosity. Not to dwell within differentiation is moral ethic, good or bad. In morality, in generally speaking, yes, we think that we should do good act, we should avoid bad act of body, speech, and mind. We should engage in good act of body, speech, and mind. We have this good and bad, differentiating of good and bad in perception. Now, we need to free from this. If you are not free from good and bad mentality, then you are still bounded in the samsara. So when you have wisdom awareness, you're also free from that boundaries. So not to distinguish is patience. Freedom from acceptance and rejection is perseverance. Non-attachment is meditative concentration, and non-conceptual thought is wisdom awareness. So when you have wisdom awareness, all the five personal parameters are also included here. You know, if you practice generosity with selflessness, with understanding of non-existing nature, with understanding of emptiness nature, and practice generosity, there is no attachment at all, and that's the real. Likewise, followed by all other parameters. So the parameters are inclusive here, and then uh, frustrations also is inclusive here. When you really frustrate to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, when you really pay homage to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the real offering to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha is the wisdom awareness, is the remaining in this suchness, is the realizations of emptiness nature of phenomena. Just like water poured into water, like butter stored into butter, perfectly seeing this self-aware, promoted wisdom by oneself constitutes prostrations. Just dissolving yourself into that suchness, prostration towards that suchness, becoming oneness of that suchness. Likewise, offering is also included in this wisdom awareness. There may be different types of offerings that you made for Buddha, your guru, your teachers, clothes, offering of money, food, and so forth. But the best offering that you can give to your root guru or to Buddha is remaining in this wisdom awareness, remaining in this ultimate nature. If you are able to remain in this ultimate nature, then Buddha and Bodhisattva will be delighted. Your root guru will be overjoyed with uh, as you being his student, because you have done what he has told us to do. Offering incense, money, flower will not make him or her happy. Offering of your true realizations of your true nature, that will make him happy. That will make Buddhas and Bodhisattvas delighted. So that is also offering is also included here. Purification is included here too, because purification is actually meant for purify your negative evil deeds. But if you are able to remain in that suchness, wisdom awareness, that it already purifies you. There's no kind of any dirt or impurities there. That is the best purification one can ever imagine. Likewise, giving samaya or giving vow is also included here. If you are able to remain in this suchness, this ultimate nature. As it says here, the one who does not have arrogance of having vows and not has the moral ethic of nirvana. It says here. He once says, like in giving of vows, someone who says, "Oh, I am the one giving the vow. I am Vikshu, I am Vikshuni, I am Bodhisattvas." If you have that kind of arrogance, then you are stuck. You're bounded there. But when you are free from that, whether you are, I have a vow, I do not have a vow, I'm good because I'm giving vow, I'm bad because I'm not giving vow. If you are free from this, kind of good and bad mentality, perfectly freeing yourself just by realizing the emptiness nature of phenomena, then that samaya is also inclusive here. Likewise, ordained bhikshus or bhikshunis are also included here, as Gampopa says here. There's a quote from the Ten Well Sutra. Although one remains at home and does not cut either their hair or beard, does not even wear dharma robes, and has not even received precepts of moral ethics, such a one, by being endowed with the sublime truth of phenomena, that's the ultimate nature of phenomena, should be known as the ultimate bhikshu. See, so one who is able to remain in this suchness, ultimate nature of phenomena, that one, whether that is not wearing ordained robes, or whether that guy he or she has not got shaved their hairs or beard, they are actually virtues. They can be called virtues even though they do not have any precepts, because they have this the real essence message of virtue. Why we become bhikshu and bhikshunis is all in order to free ourselves from the suffering of samsara. And when one is able to remain in this ultimate nature, realizations of ultimate nature, emptiness nature, then that's it. That's the essence of the practice of bhikshu. So one can be called bhikshu, even though they are not wearing or giving any kind of receiving any kind of precepts. Likewise, listening, reflections, and meditations are also inclusive in this one practice, that is the remaining in this suchness or ultimate ritual, ultimate wisdom, ultimate truth, wisdom awareness, whatever you want to call this. Likewise, Dharma offering and so forth are also inclusive in this practice. Dharma cakes and daily Dharma rituals are also included in this meaning. As there's the quote of King Sacred Nectar Tantra says, offering Dharma and so forth, all the various activities by discovering the thatness of the mind or the suchness of the mind. Everything is definitely included here. So Gampopa did mention about different ways of accumulation matters are also inclusive here. What if one is able to dwell or remain in that ultimate nature of phenomena? Okay. So having said that, there will be one question then. If everything is included in this one practice or practice of suchness or wisdom awareness, then why are there uh, uh, 84,000 teachings? You may ask, right? And then the answer is, in that case, if all these are included in meditating on only the essence of the mind as such, why do there appear teachings on so many graduated methods? The answer is, it is for the purpose of leading all those sentient beings of the little fortunate who are ignorant of the ultimate nature. Those teachings are necessary because one need to slowly guide individuals into take them into slow and gradual process, because some people may have greater ignorance than the others. There are different types of individuals, so therefore those are also necessary. But if all are intelligent, if all people are intelligent and less, they have less obscurations, then just one is enough. One teaching of remaining in the ultimate nature is good enough. But remaining in the ultimate nature is not easy. So in order to actualize that, we need all these different kinds of supports that will lead us to that awareness, wisdom awareness. So therefore, these are for those who need to be gradual process. Okay, so here again says the ornament of the arising wisdom sutras, that which has been explained as the relationship between cause and conditions, and also entering into the different stages. This all has been taught as a method to those who are ignorant or gradual process, to take different individuals into different levels. Concerning the today's one, the perfections of wisdom awareness, this spontaneously establishes Dharma. Why would one need gradual training? So this is the reason why. Okay, so now this is how one is instructed to practice post-meditative states, and how important it is to practice the ultimate nature, remain in the ultimate nature and this nature of phenomena, how much merits are there, and how all other different ways of accumulation merits are included in this one practice. So next is the sign of your practice. The sign of the practice of wisdom awareness are: one will become self-guided in virtue. Now, when you have kind of strong understanding of wisdom awareness, then you're automatically guided to the virtues. You do not need someone to guide you, or you do not need someone to inspect you or supervise you. You will become more self-guided in virtues. Afflicting emotions will diminish because you have this antidote of wisdom awareness. Compassion towards sentient being will also arise, as I mentioned earlier. When you actualize this wisdom awareness, you have more compassion toward other sentient beings who do not have this wisdom awareness, who are still lacking this truth, and who are still roaming in this samsara because of ignorance, because of confused state of mind. One will earnestly make effort towards the practice because obviously, even though one will actualize the wisdom awareness, one will not forget benefiting sentient beings. One will abandon all distractions because distractions if one is able to remain in this suchness, there will no distractions for that particular being, because one has a great kind of stabilization of mind in that particular wisdom awareness. So no distractions, and one will neither grasp or not become attached to this life. One will, because one can see the emptiness nature of phenomena, and if one sees emptiness natures of phenomena, one will diminish their attachment. There's no attachments to this lifetime, to these different appearances. So attachment is reduced here. By meditating on emptiness, one will be self-guided in virtue and so forth. So this is the sign of your practicing of your wisdom awareness, and you can self evaluate how your process of wisdom practicing of the wisdom awareness is going or taking place. And finally, the seventh point of this chapter is the result. And what is the result of this wisdom awareness? Obviously, it is the perfect and complete enlightenment. That is the result of practicing this wisdom awareness. It is the cause that will bring us into complete and perfect nirvana, not just nirvana of the one single site, but complete and perfect nirvana, not like the nirvana of here and solitary realizer or Bhaktika Buddha. This is the nirvana of the great accomplishment, the Buddhahood. One should understand that the result of wisdom awareness in the ultimate and conventional state, two levels. In the ultimate state, the ultimate result is the attainment of unsurpassable enlightenment. 700 stanza Perfections of Wisdom says, Manjushri, if one practices the perfections of wisdom awareness, that great bodhisattva will quickly, completely, and perfectly awaken in the unsurpassable, fully perfected enlightenment. So there's no doubt, because this is the only path that leads us to complete and perfect Buddhahood, the wisdom awareness, path of wisdom awareness, or direct perception of actualizing the true nature of our mind or phenomena. The conventional result is that all the happiness and fortune will arise. The condensed perfections of Wisdom Sutra says, however much there is of phenomenal happiness and comfort of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, hearers, solitary realizers, all the gods, and all the migrators, it has all arisen from the supreme perfections of wisdom awareness. So all the happiness of the great Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, uh, they all witness this happiness because they practice wisdom awareness. It has all arisen from this supreme perfections of wisdom awareness. That is the reason why uh, they are they are enjoying this result. Um, these continuations of uh, benefiting sentient beings, continuations of remaining in the undistracted, stable mind, while they practice, is all because of practicing wisdom awareness. So conventional level, there's these benefits, and ultimate level, obviously, one will be attained complete and perfect Buddhahood. So this is the result of wisdom awareness. So this is the 17th chapter dealing with the perfections of wisdom awareness from the jewel ornament of liberation, the wishful feeling gem of the noble teachings. So this concludes the chapter 17, which is the practice of wisdom awareness. And with this note, we'll stop here. Uh, the wisdom awareness, chapter of wisdom awareness. So we're trying to understand what is wisdom awareness, how one can study wisdom awareness, what is to be practiced, how one can practice wisdom awareness, and what is the result of that wisdom awareness. And in also how to practice this wisdom awareness, there are different ways to practice. Obviously, meditation is the only part here, and with the meditation, based on meditation, we will be able to realize wisdom awareness. And in the technical meditation, there are different ways. One is known as the path of reasoning, and another is known as the path of direct perception. So the two paths here, and Gampopa's explanation of this is the path of direct perception, trying to see the true nature of our own mind without inferring on the different logics, or just realizing and looking direct to the nature of our mind. And this is the Mahamudra way, which shows us, Mahamudra tradition, which shows us how one can directly experience the ultimate nature of our own mind. So with this happy note here, we will conclude this Sakata's teaching here. And once again, thank you very much for your time to listen to these teachings. And obviously, I uh, I'm sure that these instructions by Gampopa will benefit all of you. And time to time, when you have spare time, when you have some time, please do not forget to read those teachings and practice. Meditation is the most important here. And I pray that uh, many of us will be able to realize this wisdom awareness and benefit sentient beings. Thank you very much. So we do the dedication prayer here. Sonam de tamje seba nye tomne nye be danam pamje me kega nache balau chupai sebe chole chogu nyo do sho chanjo sencho rimpoche mage panam kegyo che keba nyamba meba Gong ne gong do pe wa sho